Hello lovely people, long time no see. It's been a week, but hey ho. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are well. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal space. I am currently in London seeing some shows. It was very last minute, but I just decided for my own mental well-being to come down to London and spend money on theatre tickets, because that's the way it should be. If you want to know what we're talking about today, we're going to do the Nervous Guide and my experience of Guys and Dolls, the musical currently playing at the Bridge Theatre. So if that is something you're interested in, stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole minutes. Firstly, I realised that I usually say 2 whole seconds. It's not, it's about 13 seconds because that's how long the intro is. I said minutes. We're going to move forward. Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, let's get this quick spiel out the way. Can you tell I've only woken up like 2 hours ago? But here we go. For every show that I see, I like to film 2 separate videos. First video is this. This is the Nervous Guide. This is where we talk about any sensory warnings, content warnings, my experience seeing the show, my view seeing it, all of that fun stuff wrapped up in a nice 10-minute video. And then the next video we do is the review video. I usually put it in inverted commas because I'm in no way an expert. It's just my experience and my thoughts and my feelings on seeing the show. Oh, that was quite quick for me, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, this is all about Guys and Dolls currently playing at the Bridge Theatre. There isn't very much time left. This show closes at the Bridge on the 4th of January. I can't be there because I'm already booked on a different trip. Nothing to do with theatre, very gutted. So I made the decision to go back one more time. I say one more time because I've seen this show 3 times prior. I've never done one of these videos though, because by the last time I saw this, I wasn't filming these videos. So let's do this. Woohoo! So this show, you have 2 choices on viewing it. You can either sit or stand. I have done a video on that. I did sitting versus standing, and I will try and remember to link that down below. I have stood once, sat thrice. This time I was again standing. I bought a rather cheap ticket thanks to Todaytix. It is at the lowest bracket anyway, which is I think usually like £44 on Todaytix. And through the Todaytix drops, I managed to get my seat for £22.50. Well done me. So very proud of myself for that. It was on the top circle, if you will, the top gallery at the top of the row. I was in B4 on gallery 2, which as you walk in is the right hand side. I say as you walk in because if you've never been to the Bridge for this production, it is in a round. So the stage is in the middle, there is seating all around, and you can also stand here. I don't know what that was. This is actually the first time I've sat on the right as you go in. I've always ever sat on the left. I actually enjoy the left better. The cast faces more on that side. I don't know, there is times where you see their face and they do kind of shift a little bit so everyone sees everything. However, I did feel this time around I had more of people's backs for certain moments. It wasn't a major thing. It wasn't like they were just talking to the people over there and you were sat behind, but it did feel different. So I thought I'd let you know. So that is my seat, my experience. I love the Bridge Theatre. It's such a nice space. It is kind of out there. Although I walked over Tower Bridge to get there, and then I walked out via London Bridge tube station, and neither way was particularly like lengthy. So I can't complain too much. So that's view, that is the theatre. I've never had an issue with the toilets. Let's get into the sensory stuff and the content stuff. So sensory wise for this show, firstly, the one thing you're going to be greeted with as soon as you walk into the auditorium area is the sounds of New York traffic. It's a lot of horn beeping and like car noises. It's not overly loud. You can still hear everything that's going on around you. You can also hear the actors who are in charge of moving people around in the stalls area or the standing area during the show, and they're trying to sell their wares, so there is no problem with like it being too loud, but it's something to be aware of. There's also quite a lot of neon style lighting above your head as you walk in. That also moves up and down throughout the show depending on what portion of the show it is. There aren't many like flashing lights. Some of the neon bits have some flashing moments on it, but it's not like major my eyes kind of flash, which the show I saw in the evening did. But that's not really a major problem for me personally, but it might be something to be aware of for other people. Again, with the sound, I never find the sound particularly loud. I am quite a sensitive sound person and I've never had an issue with the sound levels. As always, I do like to mention if there is any visible guns, because one of my big things is gunshots. They scare the bejesus out of me, and there is 2 visible gun sightings, one in Act 1, one in Act 2, both done when Big Julie is on the stage. Big Julie shows his gun in Act 1 when he first enters. Not first enters, but during the scene he's in first, he shows his gun, it gets put back in its holster. The second one is in Act 2. Big Julie gets the gun out. He's then, spoiler alert, punched. He's punched and knocked out the rest of the people in the scene, kind of remove the gun gets put away by the staff who are moving people around in the standing area, and that is the last time you see the gun. That is my 2 major things in that regard. So that's that. The final thing to be aware of is after the bows at the end of Act 2, before the stage lowers for the final time and the dance party, if you will, happens, there is a lovely confetti cannon. It is quite loud. I've seen this show 4 times and it still made me go whoa. So still something to be aware of. I did forget about it gonna be happening and it did come from just underneath where I sat this time, so it made it louder. But yeah, that is pretty much that in regards to sensory content. It's set in a time where we are not, so there are obviously going to be some moments that don't reflect the times we're in, but at the same time I feel like the way that this production is done, it does mean that there is much more of a nod to our times and girl power, etc. And finally, there is a little bit of ladies sexy dancing. Not sexy, but there is some suggestive movements. So if you are going to take children, something to be aware of. It doesn't affect me in any way. That probably came out wrong, but it is something to be aware of if you're taking the youth of today. And there we are. Just like I said, pretty much wrapped up in a whole 10-minute video. Go me. But there we are, there we go. All done and dusted. If I have forgotten anything, or if you think that I have forgotten anything, or if indeed you are also someone who is a bit wary of certain things or such and such, then please feel free to write them in the comments below. But that is me. I'm going to leave you here, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope you come back next time for more theatre related content. But there we are, there we go. All that's left to say is the usual, and that is so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.